education. Would it make sense to anyone in this country that they are unable to get what they call basic services, yet we're spending billions of shillings on things that are not necessary? For me, that's the question.
That is a billion-dollar question that Javas will not answer. You know, the lifestyle that costs Kenyans billions of shillings just to, to massage somebody's ego and for somebody to do, his campaigns. Of course, it can never make sense. That's why, of course, I had said that, we have very many problems with education. Of course, I know Javas will tell you that health is devolved, and so if the president comes to Murang'a and finds that maybe Murang'a level 5 hospital doesn't have enough, medical supplies and that kind of thing, he will tell you that that is devolved. You should not blame it on the president. But then there has been a very long-standing question in the Senate. The funds that we are leaving at the center still. If you look at the entire health budget, for example, whatever is left in Nairobi is too much. I mean, this burden is given to counties with their meager, allocations. But talking about education, which then Javas now cannot say is devolved, because it's devolved only to, to pre-primary level. I mean, we have now junior school. Which is basically secondary school.
It is.
These learners do not have labs because, I believe it was a mistake, to make this decision to have, junior schools within what we had as primary schools. Because, of course, there are many problems. So we need labs in these schools. We need lab equipment. We need very many things which have not been done. This number of teachers, we are told, 56,000 teachers. Most of them are interns. They are not employed on permanent and pensionable basis. So anyway, we can have a long list of the problems that we have and of what the monies that the president is basically wasting can do for the benefit of Kenyans, because we have very pressing issues. But allow me to say, to put some things must be very clear, so that Javas, because he speaks for the president, does not mislead our viewers and listeners. When he says that it is Parliament that allocates funds to, for example, State House, because I think he wanted to say that the president is innocent when he spends, when he's given 17 billion, because actually he's given that money. No, Javas, you must let the people of Kenya know that departments make requests to Parliament, and the allocation are based on these requests, and also that President Ruto has captured Parliament. So other requests, and you heard the PS yesterday, PS Basic Education, saying that his request, I think, was about 45 billion. He was given 200 something, short. He fell short by about over 110 billion. But that one will be adjusted. But the president's request, State House request, will not be adjusted because he has captured Parliament. So we must tell Kenyans the truth. When he talks about the Maragua bulk water project, we must let the people know that this is a project that was initiated by Uhuru Kenyatta and which Ruto fought so hard, saying that it was meant to supply water to an estate that the Kenyatta family wanted to put up at Northlands. So this is not this. He cannot take any credit for this. This is a project that was, conceived and, born by President Kenyatta's administration. And I want to agree with you on 100%, 100% do. That when we do our job, we should not expect anybody to pat our backs. That is why when you feed your children or pay fees for them, you do not expect them to sing praises for you. It is your responsibility. It is your duty. So, for the president to expect that and to say that people must work with him politically for them to bring development, that is something that we must, isolate and say it's very unfortunate. The people of Murang'a do not have to support the president. The people of Murang'a are taxpayers. They have a right to development, whether we support the president or not. After all, the president will not initiate projects in Muranga, using funds from his chicken farm that he prides about. These are national resources, public resources. And, allow me also to say something that he has said, that my party leader says that there will be no country here, that he's pessimistic, and we must be optimistic. What my party leader, His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua, does is warning that if we go on this trajectory, then we may not have a country. I know he has said that if SHA continues operating the way it is operating, in the next few months, it could collapse. That is not being pessimistic. That is telling people that if things do not change, then we are not headed in the right direction. You cannot call that pessimism. That is, the truth. We have to plan if we do not want to fail. If we fail to plan, then we are planning to fail. And so we must put these things in perspective. And Java said something very interesting, but does not want to expound on it, that governments succeed by spending. I liked that. But he added, but spending prudently. He will not tell us how prudent it is to transport the president to even go and launch a transformer, because he has done that. I mean, how prudent would that be? That you spend, tens of millions to go and launch a transformer? What